do is I want to talk about purpose as it relates to kind of the social situation that we're in right now. So there's two types of purpose. Now, primarily, we're going to be talking about your lifelong purpose moving forward, right? But today we're going to talk about the moment-to-moment purpose. So let me distinguish the two. When we talk about lifelong purpose, we're talking about your genius level talent and your passion. So you're gifted at something. You're gifted. You're extraordinary. You are special at something, right? And you've been given there's a passion in you that is very interested in something specific. So there's what you do well, what skill you possess, and then also what you are interested in, right? So what you love to do, and then what you're good at, that creates your purpose. And what you want to do with those two things is you want to not only upgrade yourself, you want to upgrade your family, and you want to upgrade your community. And you can define community. Community can be where you live. It could be your town. It could be your city. It could be your state. It could be the world. But you want to take your gift, your genius level talent, you want to take your passion, and you want to use it to upgrade the lives of the collective, right? So now we have our moment-to-moment purpose. So what's that? So your moment-to-moment purpose is the different hats that you got to put on from moment to moment, right? As me personally, I have a wife and 3 kids, right? So there's times when I'm always a husband. I got to be a husband, right? So I got to do husband stuff, right? And then I got 3 kids, so I got to be a father to my kids, right? Then I am a son, right? I'm the only child, right? So I got 2 parents. I don't have any siblings, so I got to be a child to my parents, right? So I got to take on that role from time to time. I am a son of God, right? I'm a child of God, so I got to take on that role. So in each and every moment, one of those roles kind of rises to the surface where I got to fulfill that purpose, right? And you guys are living in your moment-to-moment purpose, right? All of you are sons, right? You're sons to your parents, so you got to be a son to your parent. You got to be a sibling to your other sibling. You got to be a brother to your siblings, and some of you got to be students, right? You got to go to class. You got to work hard. You got to get good grades, right? You got to get good grades so that we can play sports because you're an athlete, right? So you want to make sure that you fulfill the responsibility and the purpose of being a student so that you can be an athlete and you can be an asset to your team, all depending on what your responsibility is, right? So when we talk about the moment to moment. We talk about the moment-to-moment purpose. All of us in this chat, you and myself, we're all Black Americans. We're all brothers, right? So that's a part of what we got to do from moment to moment, right? We got to be brothers. And so what does that mean? And so what I want to talk about is your moment-to-moment purpose and how you can fulfill your moment-to-moment purpose in these days and times. But 3 things you can do to fulfill your moment-to-moment purpose as a Black man. Right? The first thing is this. Be the best son you can be right now. Be the best son you can be. Your parents are probably shook up about what's going on in our country, right? And they might not show it. They might not express it every day, but they feel it. And they don't. And it's not to say that you don't feel it too, but they probably been going through it longer than you have, right? So with that being said, if you can be an outstanding son, if you can be stress-free, not meaning you be stress-free, but provide as little stress as possible to your parents, right? Make sure that you're taking care of business, making sure you're showing some initiative, make sure you're helping out, making sure you don't give them something extra to worry about, right? And now that we about to go outside in these streets, because now the laws are starting to kind of loosen up, don't be out in these streets acting crazy, man. Don't have your parents worrying about you, all right? Don't let having fun go so far that now your parents are worrying about you because they gave you a curfew where you can stay out a little bit, and now they're worrying about the activities that you might get yourself into or who you're hanging out with, right? So the first things first, the day-to-day purpose of being a Black man, how you can do that, just be the best son possible, right? The second thing is this. Be aware and be intentional, right? So from moment to moment, you're going to have responsibilities. You're going to have duties. You're going to have things you got to do for the family. You know what I'm saying? And you need to be aware of those moments. Because sometimes we get caught up in our own stuff. I know some of y'all got girls and y'all got your own ego-driven things that y'all got going on and stuff like that. And sometimes y'all got to step out of your own world and do something for somebody else. You might get a little attitude real quick. You don't mean no harm, but you might get an attitude real quick. So in that moment, be aware. be aware of the opportunity to do something for the fam, and then I want you to be intentional about it. I want you to say, okay, man, I do not feel like cleaning the house. I don't feel like taking out the garbage. I don't feel like taking my sister. I don't feel like taking my brother. I don't feel like watching my siblings, whatever. Right at that moment, be intentional. Say, I don't feel like it, but I'm about to feel like it. I don't want to do this, but I'm about to act like I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? The same way that coach might have you doing some stuff that you don't want to do, but you want to start, you want to play, you want responsibility, you want that ball thrown to you, you want that action ran your way. You make yourself enjoy whatever he's telling you to do because you want that opportunity. Same thing. I want you to treat your parents the same way. So 2 ways. That's the second way. Be aware of the moment to help your family, and then be intentional about making sure that at that very moment you fall in love with the opportunity to help your family, regardless of what they're asking you to do, right? The last thing that you can do to fulfill your moment-to-moment purpose as a black man is don't deviate from the essence of this situation that we're in. The essence of it is there's a value gap, and white people are valued more than black people. That's why we look, the media, the society has made us expendable. They have allowed for people to treat us differently than other races, right? Unfairly, discriminate, so on and so forth. So don't allow for someone to convince you that the looting and these other results of the value gap are the issue. You make sure that you stay committed to the essence of the conversation. The essence of the conversation is, no, the reason why we're here is because as a black man, I'm not valued the same as everyone else. That's it. Don't let anybody deviate from that. Don't let anybody deviate from that major point, right? So if you're watching television, and it's an election year, you're watching television, you see all these different crazy narratives that they're going to paint black people in, and they're going to say that black people are reckless and violent and all this stuff. Don't let that get into your spirit. Always bring the conversation back to, hey, in this society, black people are not valued as much as white people. Always bring it back. And if you get in a conversation with somebody white, right? And I know sometimes you got white brothers and friends who you real cool with or whatever the case may be, but sometimes, based upon what they're hearing in the house, they might say something off the wall, right? They might try to distract you from the essence of the conversation, and don't you deviate. I want you to always bring that conversation right back and be like, cool, I know Tarjay got destroyed, but did you see what happened to that black man? Oh wow, that hardware store got destroyed, man, that's terrible. But did you see what happened to that black man by 4 guys in broad daylight? Okay, so 3 things you can do to just fulfill your moment-to-moment purpose as a black man. Number 1, be the best son you can be. Be aware and be intentional about helping your parents out, and also don't deviate from the essence of the situation. Make sure you always bring that conversation back to the reason why all this craziness that's taking place. So listen, fellas, moving forward, we're gonna talk about purpose. It'll be a little bit lighter. It'll be a little bit more about you and your gifts and your talents. But today we had to make sure that we talked about something that was purpose-driven, but also timely, if that makes any sense. So listen, fellas, love you, I feel you, and I'll be touching base with you guys soon. Take care. Marv Fox Jr. Done.